Relics Radio, your favorite weekly podcast dedicated to the metal detecting and treasure hunting community. Here are your hosts, Ken from Adventures in Dirt and Tony from 5280 Adventures.
And we are live right here on Relics Radio. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Thursday night. We're here at Relics Radio on our new platform to share with you our live broadcast. We kind of did a test stream yesterday and made some announcements, and we're going to start coming to you right here live on the 3 different platforms that we're broadcasting to every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, where you can catch your live. You can come see and hear us broadcasting live for Relics Radio. And for those of you that like to download the show later on audio only, you will be continuing to do that. You won't have any changes. You can go ahead and find it anywhere you find your podcast. But right now, I want to introduce you to my co-host, Tony. Hey, man, this is going to be a big night. How you doing?
I'm great. This is a good time. I'm excited, not only for kicking off kind of our introduction to a new platform and new format and all that, but you're still going to get the same content. I tell you what. Yeah. And tonight we've got a bunch of people on here that's going to have some incredible content too. So I'm excited for tonight. I'm psyched.
Yeah, me too. I tell you what, I'm looking forward to talking to all the people we have on with us tonight. And there's a lot of them. So I have to apologize to every one of them and to you that are watching that if we happen to step on each other during the show, we'll apologize now, but that's the way it goes with so many people on. But I've been wanting to talk to them for so long because they took this awesome trip to England. And man, you and I both been, and it's going to help take us right back there. You know what I mean?
It's going to be incredible. And I know that we've got some really good stories too from this trip that they took. But we do have some housekeeping to take care of real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
If you guys are watching the live stream right now, if you are on Facebook and you wish to make a comment, I'll tell you right now, we can see every comment that you make, but it comes up as Facebook user as your name. So if you guys want to make sure that we can see who's making those comments, I have a link over there on the banner, and we'll go ahead and throw one in the chat as well, and make sure that hopefully this works. You guys can go ahead and allow StreamYard to show your face and or your profile picture and your name. Hopefully that works, and that'll allow us to see who's making those comments. So check that out, and that way we can see exactly who is commenting.
Right? Yeah, that'd be great. So hey, man. So Thursday night, how you been? I know we usually kind of talk about the weather. I mean, we got some cool weather coming here in Colorado, but not snow yet, right?
Well, last week we were out in t-shirts metal detecting. This week we've had, 20s and 30s. Yeah. This weekend should be 40s. We're going to go out and dig on Saturday though, right?
We are. It's been like, 4 weeks in a row, something like that?
It's starting to become a habit.
It is.
It is. Not a bad habit.
We hooked up
unless
with
you talk to our wives.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Hey, who's joining us tonight? Who do you see in the chat?
Oh man, we're going all the way back up here. Coming in, let's see. Metal Detecting War Relics is visiting over off of YouTube. That is Nick. We had Nick on as a guest not too long ago. Great guest. If you guys didn't listen to that episode, you got to check that out. Nick from across the pond with a couple years of experience. Great stories too.
Right. Who else you got? So scroll down here.
Yeah, Mark Thomas.
Yep, I see him.
Mark always joins us. Mr. Bill Hayes on the new format joining us. Bill's always with us, huh?
How you doing, Bill? Good to see you. Thanks for coming over. We got some of our guests that are popping in there, like Hollywood Joe, and
there you go.
A couple of Facebook users. Yep, coming in saying hello. So welcome everybody. Dave Crookshanks just came in, and want to welcome everyone. Dirt Clod Metal Detecting. Good to see you. Il Digger is in the chat. Everybody,
there we go.
Digger. So yeah, thanks everyone coming over.
Dave Crookshank.
I did. Dave Crookshank. JP Hunts. Yeah. JP's in the house. Good to see JP. Man,
some people
coming
checking
over.
It.
You want to talk? I talked in the beginning, but some people may just be jumping in. You want to talk a little bit about why we're here right now?
Yeah. I mean, the short
this.
of it. Yeah, the short of it is our previous platform Spreaker is going to be stopping the live podcast features. So we're going to get out ahead of it, and we're going to just do it this way. So this allows us to broadcast on multiple social media platforms and kind of get this podcast out to more people in different ways. And those of you that want to still download the podcast, you can still do that on Spreaker. It'll be audio only. And in fact, all of our podcast audio only will be on every platform that you download your podcast from anyways. So nothing after the fact is going to change. This just allows us to get over on Facebook, over on YouTube, be able to see everyone's smiling faces and all that kind of good stuff. And we think we might bring in some more people to kind of that video format, still allow us to have the audio format as well. So
yeah,
that's the short. How's that?
That's our solution. That's what we're going to go with. And hopefully it works out. I do know that, Tony and I both have been YouTube guys for a while, and we've done a lot of live streaming. And one thing we have to keep in mind is our audio listeners that like to download the show. We're still running this as a podcast. And so audio really is key, and trying to make sure that the people that love to download Relics Radio, while they're driving their car, working out, on their way to work, they can continue to do that. So we will be interacting with the chat. Absolutely. But if we don't get to your questions, you'll have to forgive us, or just type it again if you don't see us answering it. I think the best way to catch our attention with a question is to just type the @ and start to type in 5280 Adventures and make that begin your question, and it should highlight it for us. So that's a pretty good way to sort of highlight a question to us. So cool. Where are we going this weekend?
Gosh, I think we're going back up in the area of the Stagecoach stop. So we should find some good stuff. There's old history up there.
Yeah, we should. We definitely should. We've pulled some good stuff out of there previously. I know that a couple of my best finds just came out of there. At least my oldest finds and finds from my bucket list. I fought a couple of seed. I never thought I'd get seeded here in Colorado, but boy, pulled a couple of them back to back, and one was a seeded dime. Can you believe it?
Yeah, yeah. So I see the half dime.
Oh, half dime. What did I say? Seeded half dime. Jeez.
You got both, one of each.
I did.
Amazing.
Blew me away.
That's awesome.
Blew me away.
Hopefully we get on that stuff again.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of people to talk to tonight. You want to start bringing people in, and we will introduce everyone as they're coming in. You're seeing them rolling in now. There's a Hollywood Joe. Joe, how you doing? KK Karen, how you doing? There's Butch Holcomb. We could like to call him Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground, baby.
There's Charlie. How you doing, Charlie?
Real good, Ken and Tony.
Excellent. And then Jeff Lubert's on with us. Hi, Jeff.
How's it going?
Good. Thanks for joining us. And we've got Teresa the Treasure Hunter too, but she is switching devices, I think, right now. She'll be on with us here shortly. How is everyone doing? You give everyone a big wave, everybody. Yeah, excellent.
Looks like the Brady Bunch over here on the screen. All of us old people.
Wait, who's Alice? That. Butch is Alice. I'm sorry, Butch. You're Alice tonight. Teresa made it. How are you, Teresa?
We'll change it up. How's
Hi. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I had to run upstairs and get my earphones.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we're glad you made it. Welcome, everybody. If anybody in the chat has questions for anybody, make sure you ask it, and we'll be looking for it for sure. But the reason we're all here tonight is to talk about a recent trip y'all took down to England. And man, I want to get started probably with Butch. Butch, you want to talk about how this all came about? Like, was this American Digger Magazine's, was it a sponsorship, or were you, did you just kind of organize it? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we kind of looked into this. I'm friends with Julian Everhart, who's editor of Treasure Magazine in the UK. And he went over here and hunted this place that had just been opened for metal detecting, Suffolk Sandlands. And he said, you've got to get over there. So I contacted him, And I said, I'm with American Digger Magazine, and we would actually like to sponsor a week or weekend, whatever, and get some people over there. And they said, well, yeah, if you can get enough people interested. We filled up the trip within, I think it was 3 weeks. So that started a good thing. We're going back again this year, and we're actually going twice. Jeff is leading a group, and then I'm leading a group in October. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, American Digger Magazine will be over there twice. And oh my gosh, what a place to dig it was.
Phew. Hey, Jeff, what do you think about that? So how many times does this make for you to get over across the pond? You've been over there a few times, haven't you?
I've been over there a few times. Yeah, I don't. Goodness sakes. To be honest with you, I don't know how many times I've been over there. Probably a dozen.
Yeah.
Detected pretty much every trip. Sometimes only for a few hours here and there, but yeah, this one definitely stands out heads and shoulders above others.
So, Butch, is this something you're thinking about doing as almost a regular basis, doing a couple trips a year?
It's looking like it at this point. We're just kind of playing it year by year at this point. But, you know, I know that when we put it out there this year, the trip filled up just as fast. And that's why we had to add a second one with Jeff. And Jeff, it filled up pretty good, didn't it?
Yeah, the April trip filled up within, gosh, almost, it was just over a week.
I mean,
it filled up quick.
Yeah, it's I'd never been to England before, but what all these people told me is this was a pretty good site. And I know that there was a gold coin found there, and I got a 1757 or 1575 silver coin. I know Karen got quite a few Roman coins. Joe got some killer coins. Charlie, Teresa. I mean, everybody got something cool over there, and it was only a 3-day hunt, so it was pretty awesome in my opinion.
And we'll talk about what everyone found for sure. We're going to talk about all that stuff. So raise your hand if this was your first trip over to England. So okay, all right. Wow. So good amount of you. And who wants to take it?
It was my first trip, but I didn't detect the first time.
So it wasn't your first trip over, but your first trip of detecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with KK.
Same with KK. Okay. Yeah. So how? Let me see. How many were on the trip? Somebody want to take that? Hey, Charlie, how many were on the trip?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Butch would know better than me the number.
I think it's What was that just now, Karen? 11 or 12?
12. I was going to say around 12.
12.
About 12.
That's another thing about this place. They only take out a small group. They limit it to like 12 people.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a good thing, I think.
Yeah.
Just right.
It was just right. Is that what y'all feel? It's just right.
Yeah.
And how many days did you? Well, first let's talk about where you went. So England's a pretty big place. So saying you went to England is one thing, right? But Karen, you want to talk us a little bit about where you went?
We went to Suffolk, near Ipswich, I guess.
Yeah.
They do weddings at this priory, so they opened it up to metal detecting, maybe to make some extra cash. But it was great. We stayed in a nice farmhouse. We had like 6 fields to hunt in. That's all I know.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, tell us, what's a priory? Somebody may hear that word and not know what a priory is. What is that?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
How do you think I know what the heck it is?
Somebody raise their hand if you know what a priory is. No, there's Teresa. Teresa knows. Go ahead, Teresa.
I don't feel so bad now.
Y'all were not paying attention when we went to those talks.
Yeah. Did they have
Well, I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. This is the Butley Priory. It was a 1300s monastery. Am I right?
Yeah,
that's it.
It's a monk monastery.
Yeah.
Monk's
In fact, there's a monk's grave right next to the farmhouse.
Yeah, I think there was actually, they had said that there's actually monks buried underneath some of the buildings that are there.
Yeah.
And many of the buildings aren't even there anymore. That one field, we called it the lead field. According to paintings, there was a lot of structures there, a lot of buildings. The church is gone that was there with the lead roof.
Yeah, that was really there exactly.
It was the church.
There was a church's roof that they shoveled out into that field and sprinkled sprinkled such little pieces of
Did it
all the time.
everywhere.
How many people found lead? Bing, 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 bing.
Well, that was the cool thing about the whole situation is that I think that field was offered to numerous detectors and didn't want to touch it because of all the lead. So it was a perfect opportunity for us to get in there. And man, we probably dug, how many holes do you think, guys? 2,000, 3,000 holes?
Oh, at least.
So a gold
How many times we emptied our pouches out because my pants were falling down from the lead? I mean, it was crazy. But once we got through it, man, the stuff we were finding was unbelievable.
That is cool.
Yeah, I pulled up a silver hammered coin, within the first hour of detecting there. So, I mean, we knew there was good stuff there. And Joe, you killed it in there, man.
He did.
Yeah, I found some pretty good relics there. Plus, I finally got my first hammer there too. That was the last day I finally found a hammered coin there. But
it's the last days when I found mine.
I picked up some serious, crazy relics from all. Yeah, it's great, nuts. I'm getting all excited again just talking about it.
KK found that Sestercius in that field.
Sestercius, no kidding.
Uh-huh.
Woo!
When they
Tell us about that.
Detected, that was a good sign for me. When I heard nobody wanted to detect it because of lead, that's when Joe and I and Teresa, we said, let's go there.
Do you have your Sestercius with you, KK?
No, but I can go get it, I think.
Well, tell us about it, KK. Tell us about, is that your first sort of Roman?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
What'd you think? Did you know what it was?
The first one I found was like kind of white. So I didn't know what it was, which is a thick, odd shaped coin. So I had to take it over to the guides and they said it was a Sestercius, but I still can't see a lot of details on it.
Still though, what's the year of that? Do you know? Did you ever figure out kind of the year?
The second one I found was a Hadrian. So that was 2nd century, I think.
Yeah. Only 2nd century. That's all.
No big deal.
It's just so hard to put your mind around, right? 2nd century. You guys are pulling it up. It's just been sitting there waiting for you the entire time for you to come along with your little coil and find that thing.
Yeah.
Jeff, how's that make you feel, Jeff? Like, you've been detecting for a long time and I know you enjoy it. You and Tony have detected a lot together. We're in the same club. You're the president of our club and we're also buddies and hunting buddies. And I mean, all this time, like, do you still get excited for this stuff you're finding?
Oh, absolutely. And seriously, I was pretty excited for KK when she found that Sestercius, because seriously, that was like a major coin to find. And it was her first. And to me, it just opened up the doors to everybody else to find stuff. And
actually, I think that was like the first big find, wasn't it? Was her that, and then after that, it just went crazy.
Yeah. So literally, that one find opened up the doors for everybody, and I am still happy when my friends find stuff. Probably more so than when I find my own stuff. I don't know why. To me, it's thrilling to see someone else. Their eyes light up when they find something. So it's awesome.
Yeah. Very cool. Just want to say hello to Jason Quarterhoarder in the chat, coming in and say hello. Our friend Michael from Metal Detecting NoCo's in, and he wants to know, what do the Brits think of the Americans? Do they just get a kick out of what we consider to be old? Because, most stuff is modern to them if it doesn't get back into medieval. So what do you think? How do they, what are the British people that you came along with, that you interacted with? What did they think of you guys being over there?
Actually, they were very impressed because we all knew what the hell we were doing.
That's what I was fixing to say. They were extremely impressed because the few groups that they've had over there so far have basically just been local amateurs. And, they even give a lot of them ace, whatever, the lesser end Garrett's to hunt with. And I think they were surprised we even brought our own metal detectors, but they were extremely impressed with our skill level over there.
Wow.
Here's this issue of American Digger magazine, which I published. We were talking about what was left of the Priory. This is the only building that's actually still standing there. And without going into a lot of detail, this is one of 3 pages of all the stuff that we found that was deemed significant enough to be shown to the archaeologists. So
wow.
Yeah, that's the volume 20 issue 1. That's January, February issue. And if you'll get in touch with us, we still have some of these in stock. So got everybody's find in there. And it's, in fact, one find that I want to talk about this, I thought this was cool. And I think it was you, Teresa, that found the seal, the Joseph seal.
Yeah.
Was that you? That just
that
was so cool.
It was my favorite find.
Let's talk about that. So tell people what a seal is. Maybe they don't know what a seal is.
Well, if I had my stuff together, I would have it, and I'd hold it up here right for you.
Sure.
It's a fob seal, and it's a wax seal, and it hangs on like a necklace or a belt thing with some other things. There it is. That's the bottom of it. So that says Joseph on it, and you press that in, but the top of it, I thought I found a game piece, like an old Roman game piece or something, which I was really excited to see that. But that's my favorite find. In fact, in a minute, I think I'll go get it and show you. It is just that big, so tiny, but
awesome.
It's very, very Victorian, ornate looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it true that Joe tried to take that away from you?
I should give it to him since it's got his name on it.
There you go.
This butch, I've got dibs on it. That's all.
I think you got a new name.
Boots.
Boots.
That's my blues name.
Yeah, and Butch was just mentioning that edition that has that story from their trip in England in the American Digger magazine. And I just want to remind everyone that in the chat just now, I just put a link over to American Digger magazine. And if you are not a subscriber, you need to head on over there and check it out. It's just a world-class publication, probably the best magazine I know of that's in our community here that services a community. And I'll also put it down in the description of this podcast later, so y'all can go over there and check that out if you're not already a subscriber. I can't believe you're not, but if you're not, you need to go over there and check it out.
We are really, to my knowledge, the only paper metal detecting magazine left in the United States. There's a lot.
I believe it.
All for digital or hard copies, so you get whatever you want.
Right. Right. You know what I didn't do tonight, Tony, is we didn't do I did pull a bunch of images that I pulled off of various Facebook pages, but of course I didn't prep them for the show tonight. So I apologize to everyone out there. I put some on our little ad we put out there, but yeah, I wanted to, hold on. Let's put Teresa up. There we go.
I found it.
There it is.
Oh, everyone check that out.
That's so cool.
So for our audio listeners, tell us what we're looking at. So Jeff, tell us what we're looking at. Go ahead and explain it as she's holding that up.
That is a seal matrix. It's made for, like, if you're producing a letter or something like that you wanted to, put out there and fold it up like a letter. You instead of an envelope, you folded it up. Then you sealed it with wax so that it couldn't be opened by anyone, or they could tell if it was opened. So then you put the wax on the paper while it's still hot. You press that seal down into it to seal it, to let them know that it was from Joseph.
Joseph, isn't that cool?
And it's so personal.
Joseph.
It is so personal.
I love artifacts. So it had a little chain on it, and it would hang, maybe a necklace. But they said a lot of times they would have a belt, and they would hang several things on their belts that were just personal, everyday use things. So anyway, that's my favorite.
That is amazing. Such a cool find. And I just love those personal finds like that. You know what I mean? Those are some of my favorites that has somebody's name on it, or, it was something really personal to them that they could use in their day-to-day life. Cool. Very cool, man.
It showed up.
Glad it came out to play.
Before we get more into some of the cool finds, because I saw pictures of them all. Hey, Charlie, tell us, did you guys do any touristy things when you're over there?
We went in town to London and we did the eye. If you know what the eye is.
Tell us what the eye is.
It's a Ferris wheel. It's very high. You can see London all over. And I was a little afraid to go up on the eye because it's so high. But Teresa, she kind of like pushed me into the booth.
There was two of us that were kind of scared. I wasn't, but someone
I
else.
think we ought to tell the story about Charlie getting on the subway when we were there for like 5 minutes and almost lost him.
Oh, that's got to be a good story. All right,
Do you
Charlie,
remember
you're up.
Charlie? Do you remember?
You mean when the door shut on me?
When we were going in real slow and that door like closed on your arm and we all grabbed you?
Yeah, you guys saved my arm and me.
Well, they tell you right up front, mind the gap. Mind the gap.
We were in London for an hour. We almost lost Charlie. Then he gets hit by a buck mirror.
We'll talk about the airport.
You know, there is a chance they won't let the American Digger crew back in. We haven't cleared that with England yet, but we think that
I did see that on the BBC News channel that they were not happy you guys were there causing a
they said
ruckus.
something about the Plampets go to London or something.
Yeah. That brings me to my next question because, you know, when you go on a trip like this, especially out of the country, if you've never been there before, a little bit of a different culture, you know, not too bad. Not like if you were going to, you know, a country that didn't speak, you know, the same language as you. But let me ask you, like, did anybody have any unique experiences in the traveling? Like, I got a story for you after this, and some of you have heard it. But
KK's got a unique story with traveling.
Who does, KK?
Yeah.
Okay, you're up, KK. Unique travel story.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Uber driver you tried to kill.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my goodness. You got to hear this one now.
This is going to get good now.
How can you not remember the Uber driver you tried to kill?
She even forgot about it.
Oh,
When she tried to block it out of her memory.
She was pretty embarrassed about it, but he was scared shitless that she was going to shoot him with a gun.
Oh, my goodness. Let's hear
I
it.
just
What
opened
happened?
the wrong door. That's all.
You know, they drive on the wrong side.
You open up the driver's door?
The Uber guy got there.
She was setting his leg.
She opened the door to get in with him.
And he like freaked out, started swearing, wanted us all out of there. And I tried to explain to him that we were from the United States and it just happened we get in the wrong door.
That's great.
It's hilarious.
But, man,
Funny.
Glad he didn't mace you. You know?
He was a big
Yeah.
guy.
He was a huge
Jeff
guy.
and I got lost on a bus.
We got lost a lot on the bus.
We saw parts of London that National Geographic had not been. And it's the only bus we got on in England that did not have a bathroom on it. And I finally stopped and went into a department store there. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. What'd y'all think of the tube?
Going the wrong direction. So
what'd y'all think of the tube?
Yeah,
the subway.
I think that's the only way you can get around over there, but I think it's also the only thing in a straight line that I could possibly get lost on because it was really confusing. I mean, it wasn't like there were any turns or anything. It's just hard to tell where you were at. Oh, Jeff, tell me about
it takes a long time to get around.
Too. Jeff, do you remember the group you met? The girls?
I met a few groups.
Oh, I saw those pictures. I saw those pictures.
Oh, there's pictures on Facebook somewhere. What were they going to, Jeff? ABBA.
The ABBA experience.
Oh my goodness!
These girls looked like they had straight out of 1964. So Jeff posed with them, and we got some great pictures. And it was just one of those moments that embarrassed me to death, but it was fun.
Butch and Anita I spotted them, I guess, pointed them out to them, and they're like, well, I wonder where they're going. So naturally, me being me, I just went over and started talking to them.
I would do that.
Of course. The pictures were priceless. I love that.
That's the most date opportunities Jeff's ever had in one day.
In the last year and a half, anyway.
Were they going to bring you to ABBA? Were you going to go to the concert?
No, it's pretty much full.
Hey, Ken.
Yeah.
You asked about, did we do any kind of traveling? On the first day when we got there, we didn't dig. They took us over to see a historical place, and it's called the Sutton Hoo. It's a place where there's a Viking. Well, it's burial mounds, and there's a Viking ship buried there with. They assume a king, and they loved their king. He had all kinds of really cool swords and a helmet and a scepter, and they left so many cool things in there that were gold and things that would last. And so we got to go and visit that, and had a really nice museum. There was a lot of burial grounds there, not just that ship, but this was kind of inland, but way back then, I guess it was the Vikings. Did they say
Saxon.
Anglo-Saxon. It was the
Okay.
Anglo-Saxon.
So would that be before the Vikings?
I think it would be after the Vikings.
After the Vikings, I believe.
Okay.
Eight-
Anyway, it was old and
was old.
very, very cool.
on Netflix, they actually have a movie about that called
Yes.
The
Dig.
It's called The Dig. A very good
Yeah.
movie, and anybody
Great
listening,
movie.
I'll highly
Very
recommend
good.
that.
I was
Anybody
glad I watched
in our
that
community.
before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very-
And I think
it
they
was
buried him
fun.
in that ship. Like, I don't, it wasn't like
They
just
did.
there and came in disarray. Like, that was an honor,
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
buried him in that ship.
And
But
the
that's-
river.
See the distance from where the river was to where that
Yeah.
ship was. You kind of scratch your head and wonder how they got there.
Yeah, it was
they
about
had
a
to
mile
they had to
up
bring
there.
it up through some little river or something.
Wow.
Our guide there, I think it was Andy, I believe, or it might have been. We had two different guides. It was one of the two, but he actually worked on one of the archaeological digs. I think it was at that place, but it might have been a different dig. But it was some big ceremonial dig of the Saxons, and they said that each person they found had a gold coin in their mouth, and that was the way that they were assured that basically they were going to buy their way into heaven, atone for their sins. And he said there was one guy that was buried over in the corner, and his skull was full of gold coins.
Oh,
And they
wow.
called him the sinner because
The sinner.
they
wasn't-
were going to do anything they could to get that guy into heaven.
He wasn't going to take any chances, that guy.
No chances with him.
That's hilarious.
Well, when first time I went over to England, I'll tell this quick story. People have heard it before, so bear with me. Went over to England, and when I got off the plane, he went to customs, and the custom agent was there. It was this young gal, and I'll ask you guys what you think of this. How would you guys respond to this? She asked me this question: "Sir, are you in transit?" Anybody want to take that one?
What'd you say?
I was dumbstruck. I said, "Excuse me?" And she looked at me and she cocked her head a little bit and she said, "Are you in transit?" And I looked around and I go, "I just had a long flight and maybe I'm not getting you." I go, I don't understand what you're asking me." She folds her arms.
Uh-oh.
"Are you in transit?" So I said the only thing I could think of, which was I was in transit and I am now in England standing in front of you. Is that what you're looking for? And she's like, she looks at her friend, she folds her arms again. She goes, "Sir, are you in transit?" Can you believe she was doing that to me? I was like, what are you talking about?
I'd have been scared to death.
Expand your definition,
Yeah.
please. Asking this very
She
same
just kept
question.
asking me the same question.
Was this at the airport or?
It was in customs. So
Like
you
in
tell me in the
customs.
chat, everyone in the chat, let me know if you know what she meant by "are you in transit?" And I'll tell
If-
everyone what she meant because she finally asked
you're
me.
I would
You're
say
going
going to
through
another plane.
customs.
Right. Weren't we all in transit until we got there? And then now we were going to go into transit to wherever we were going.
Well, transit doesn't mean you're American going into England. That kind of transit.
Right. Quarter Hoarder wants to know, are you a transient? That's not what she was asking. Maybe I look that way, but
Yeah, after that flight, who knows?
She said, "Sir, where are you going from here?" And I said,
Oh.
"Oxford, maybe Wales, maybe." She goes, "So you're not going to stop here and then go to like Europe,
Oh,
some other part of Europe?" I said, "No." She goes, "Then you are not in transit."
that's good to know.
Well, thank you very much. Next time I'll know
Thanks for
exactly how to
clarifying.
answer that
You
question.
would think they would speak American better.
Right. I'm like, I just speak dumb American. I don't know. I don't know anything, but
Yeah. Well, that's the trick, is we speak American, not English.
that's right.
That's
I
true.
taught the people at the Priory a lot of Southern words, so we really bonded over there.
Yeah, is that right? I bet.
I've ruined them.
Did they get a kick out of your accent, Butch, a little
bit?
They
loved it. And it turned out that John, one of our guides over there, I wear overalls when I metal detect, as everybody knows. And John came over to me. He's like, "Where did you get the overalls?" I'm like, "Well, they're Dickie or whatever. I got a pair just like that. I use them in me band." And it turned out he plays in like a jug bluegrass band over in England, wearing overalls with no shirt. And just, I mean, when I got to talk to him, I'm like, "Man, you're just like us." And we started talking about movies, and he said, "Deliverance." I said, "Yes, it's a documentary about the South." And we just really bonded.
They were awesome. They were very knowledgeable and funny and fun. Yeah.
And, we hadn't touched on it yet, but when I was over there, one of my friends from America said, "Yeah, watch the food. It's lousy." But I'm going to tell you, at the Priory there, they basically had a gourmet chef.
We were spoiled, man.
Man, we were spoiled. We
really
ate royal.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
we had a chef, man. We had a personal chef.
Oh.
Well, the reason think about it, they do weddings. That's their main thing. So
it's
you have
fancy.
weddings. Yeah, you have to have a top-notch chef to feed all these people. So all of a sudden now you have these dozen Americans showing up, and I tell you what,
fed you well.
They fed us well.
It was like a fancy restaurant you didn't have to leave a tip in.
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Somebody asked earlier, I forgot who was, asked if you guys ate what was the question, Tony?
The blood sausage.
Yeah, did any of you eat the blood sausage?
That was not offered within this trip.
No.
I have had it in the past. I've had haggis.
Yeah.
Blood sausage.
I've had blood pudding. Is that the same thing?
I don't know. Probably. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
I tasted it, but
yeah.
I'm afraid to go with y'all anymore.
No.
KK's saying no.
KK's not taking care of that, huh?
No.
First in line for that at the a la carte.
Anything weird at all? Did you guys like? I had white bait. Everyone ever heard of white bait?
Oh yeah.
Mm-mm.
It's just these little tiny minnow fish that are just deep fried whole, and here you go. It's like French fries. They just put them in a cup. They're all sticking up. All their eyes are looking at you. White bait, they call it.
I liked them.
Place cards.
I enjoyed them.
What is it, Teresa?
At dinner, they had place cards where everyone would sit, and they had a printed out menu of saying, and it was like appetizer, the main course, and salad, main course, a dessert, and lots of wine, and it was really, really good.
Wow. I got everybody's dessert.
What's that, Joe?
I got everybody's dessert. Nobody wanted dessert. I had snack in front of me.
You didn't get mine.
Not mine either.
I ate as much as I could.
They pile it in front of me and say, "Here, okay."
We did not go hungry.
No. And at lunch, they gave us these sack lunches, which were great. But you guys remember on the last day, they actually catered it out in the field to us and actually had coffee and tea. They were serving as well out in the field. So, it was
you guys were taken care of, man.
We missed out, huh?
There's longer hunts in England, but I don't think there's any hunts they take care of you better.
We would go to the Baron's house at lunchtime. They cart us to his house, the guy who owned the prairie.
Yeah.
And we would sit in the gardens and eat lunch with them.
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and to be honest with you, too, we detected 5 different fields.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a ton of ground available to us that is owned by the Baron as well. So it's not that these grounds are going to get detected out anytime soon, because a group of 10 or 12 people, and I think they only do maybe a half dozen trips a year for detecting. So it's very limited as to who has access to these fields. So it's top-notch stuff.
It's got potential for many years to come, I believe. A little bit of trivia, and I see that Debbie Schiffer Blades, who's actually with American Digger Magazine, but she's in the chat room. I'm sure she'll chime in on this. But one of the days we were out there, I had to go back to the main estate for something, and my guide took me out there. He said, "I want to show you something." So he took me out to this oak tree out in the middle of this field. He said, "You recognize that?" and it was the oak tree from Detectorist where they filmed. They filmed within a couple of miles of where we were detecting at. And Andy, our guide, actually has a display in the priory there. He found one of the hoards that was left over from the Detectorist show. And they were all fake gold coins, but he didn't know it at the time. He had just started. And him and his buddies started digging up these fake gold coins. And he said it wasn't until the next day that they determined that they were fake and what happened. But he said up until that time, they already decided what kind of sports cars they were going to buy and where they were going to buy their estates. But
Yeah.
it was
Holy cow.
Fake gold. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I was with Butch on that little adventure because I was having some back issues that day. Yeah. And that's the tree that they call the lunch tree. They always see them taking lunch under, when they're taking a break from detecting. So the lunch tree, which is actually where the magpies were taking the gold coins to. So
yeah,
that's right.
Love that show.
That was just magical. That they filmed it so close there. So
Teresa found an American quarter there.
Yes,
no way, really?
Yeah, the last day she found the American quarter.
It was silver.
Like
well, silver.
It was from the war.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we found a base nearby it, a radar area for American troops, and right near there, Teresa found this quarter. But we didn't know the radar facilities there from the war.
Wow, that is actually something. Cool. You know what I mean? Like you need to hang on to that quarter.
Yeah, what year was that, Teresa?
It's 1940.
Yeah.
And then I found this one is oh gosh, I can't see it. 1 shilling. I'll have to get my glasses on to see it. Anyway, it's 1800 something. But they were both in the same hole.
Oh wow.
I was shocked. And it was like right where the farm trail, like where they would do the wagons and stuff. I was just walking, trying to catch up with everybody down the trail, and just happened to hear that ding, ding, ding. Wow. Or not that, but that sort of sound.
Probably from an American soldier back during the war.
Yeah, yeah, that's what they said. There's a lot of stuff left over there from the war. Right after that, Charlie found his first hammered coin.
Okay.
And that was exciting.
It was exciting for me because I brought over a new machine, a new Legend. I only had the Legend for a couple weeks. And someone said, well, you should bring 2 machines along, Legend and Equinox. And I said, no, I'm just going to take the Legend. If I take 2 of them, I'll just use the one I'm used to using, which was not the Legend at the time. So my friends back home here, they said, dig every signal and dig low signals. And I found I had a 19 on the machine, and I dug it. It was a shotgun shell. I walked a few feet, had a 19 again, which is low on the Legend, very low. And I got another shotgun shell. The third 19, I figured, well, it's a shotgun shell. I walked past it. I figured, I'm not going to dig it. It's another shotgun shell. Because that's where they were hunting pheasants years ago. So I walked away. I thought, nope. My neighbors back home said, dig every hole. I go back. I dig that 19, that third, and here it was, a hammered coin. I almost missed it. I almost said phooey. And that was very exciting to pull out that Henry II hammered coin.
Wow.
We had that on video too.
What's the age? What's the range?
The year 1135. The year when he king.
Can you believe that, Charlie?
Good decision. Isn't that exciting?
It's so exciting.
But again, I almost left it. I walked away.
Right.
Yeah.
It paid off. So it was a lesson for me. That's for sure.
Everyone on our trip found a hammered coin.
That's
Everyone did? Oh, that's so lucky. That is so lucky.
One of them was gold.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to talk about that for sure.
And never say never, because I had not found a hammered or anything beyond 1800 until the third day. And then that day I dug 3 hammers, one of them silver. So, you never know.
My gosh.
Hey,
let's go.
2 silvers.
I just saw Jason's post about Charlie is the king of low signal digging. It has paid off with the legend, believe me.
Yeah.
Those low signals. I dig those low signals. And believe this or not, I found a hammered coin in New Jersey a few weeks ago.
Really?
Hammered coin. Low signal.
Yeah.
Well
Good
done,
job.
Charlie.
I got a question for you though, Charlie, on that legend. Have you figured out how to turn the volume up on the headset yet?
Yes.
Good. I went to England with my
Ken.
legend for the first time. It took me a few days before I realized how to do that.
There's a button for that, Ken.
Yeah, there is. But it took me a few days to actually realize that. Got to read those instructions. Hey, let me ask everybody. We'll go round robin. I'll kind of pull people up. Butch, what were you swinging over in England?
Over there, my main unit was XP Deus 2.
Excellent.
Yep.
And did you have a backup with you?
Yes, I did. It was the XP Deus 1.
Just in case.
Just in case. I mean, all machines are good if you learn to use them, but that's just what I ended up with over there, and it served me very well.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot lighter
Awesome.
than swinging a PI machine,
Oh,
isn't
let me
it?
tell you, yeah, a lot has become important.
Perfect. Hey, Jeff, what were you swinging, buddy?
I managed to take over the original Deus, a Deus 2, and a Manicore.
And a Manicore. And did you switch off or did you stick with one pretty much time you were
No,
on?
I literally had one machine. I did a different machine each day. We detected for 3 days. Yeah, the first day I detected with my Deus. The second day I detected with my Manicore, and then the third day I did my Deus 2.
Wow.
But, luckily Joe borrowed my Manicore for the last day, so it got used.
Thank
Gotcha.
God.
Good. Hey, Joe, so tell us what you use, buddy.
I brought 2 deuses with me, but like Jeff just said, the last day, both deuses decided to say goodbye. So I ended up using his Manicore for the day.
Nice.
Very cool. Did you like it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did actually. It's way, way heavier than what I'm used to, but it was a good machine.
Right.
I found quite a bit with it that day.
How about you, Teresa? What were you swinging? Were you swinging my legend?
Deus
No.
2.
Not my legend?
I got the Deus too. And I just took it with me because they told me that they had extra machines if something happened to it. And then I knew that most of my friends were bringing extra machines. So I might have brought an extra coil and kept it charged.
Yeah.
Did I do that? I can't remember, y'all. But I think they have a Vanquish. I think that they have whatever's red. The red machines. They had those there. And
Oh,
I think they have the 440s.
Yeah, it's we didn't even have to take a detector. They have shovels and they have detectors, and so of course
hey,
I wanted
KK,
my Deus too.
what were you swinging, KK?
Well, thankfully, Joe talked me into getting the Deus 2, so I brought that, and I had 2 coils.
2 coils with you. Perfect.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, you guys said that they provided shovels over there, so that's nice, right? You don't need to have to travel.
Little short shovels, though.
We brought our own.
Yeah, I wound up begging one from somebody local there who found me a longer one. But they were a little short, but it's whatever you want to dig with, I guess.
Yep. Question came in. Tony, did you see that one?
Yeah, it says, should Michael busy be detecting, should people buy the correct wall plug or adapter for the plug?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do it otherwise.
You'll be in a bad way if you don't.
Yeah. I actually had a large plug that had USB ports in it, a couple 110 outlets. I mean, you can find them on Amazon, and I charged everything overnight, and that was the way to go, in my opinion.
Yep.
Did you get ours on Amazon?
Yes.
Yeah.
The modern ones, because there's older ones that had just the single plug-in to single plug-in, but now the modern ones actually have like 3 or 4 USBs, some micro USBs, and 2 or 3 110 ports on.
You gotta be careful. You gotta watch the amperage because some of them are really cheesy and they won't work right.
I was going to say, don't buy the cheapest ones on Amazon, because we did, and we wound up every time we plugged it in, it would blow the fuse spots.
Oh,
they wound up giving us a different one to use, but it would pop the fuses somehow.
Yeah. And who ran that place? He's a bishop or he's a baron?
They called him a baroness. He was
Baroness.
the Baroness, and he
Ooh.
actually is
He's a sport.
in the bloodline of the royals. He's down in that, and he owns property all through that. Is that called Woodbridge? What is that called? That area there? Is
I
there
think,
stuff?
I think they said him and his brother own a quarter of England. Isn't that what was stated? I believe.
Gosh.
That's a
They own
lot.
a bunch of land.
They
Something
do.
like that. They
Everywhere
own a
we
lot.
dug.
And the area is actually Woodbridge area. Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
Very cool. So if you guys, you went in September, right? What was the weather like? Do you guys have pretty good weather? Or?
We got
Unbelievable.
we got
Jeff,
Uh-oh.
you had that one.
No, the first day it sprinkled on us in the very front of the morning. That was about the extent of it. After that, we had what, 60s and 70s, sunny every day. Standard English weather.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Except it's not like that in the spring.
No.
When Ken and I go.
Right. Georgia Buddy's in the chat. Come on, Georgia Buddy. We
Yeah.
got to get together and go sometime, not in the spring, because I've been
Yeah,
in the
not in the
spring
spring.
both times. We got to join you guys for a fall trip sometime. We need to do
It's
it.
a little wet.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe 2025 I'll be able to get back there at some point. But
Yeah.
this trip sounds great, Butch. I mean, it's so it was 3 days of digging, right? 3 days of digging and 2 days of touristy stuff, or
No, let's see. It was 3 days of digging and then 1 day of touristy stuff. Is that right, folks?
Well, and be realistic. Everyone had their own time which they, came to England and left to England.
Well, this is true. Yeah.
We did literally, our tour was literally Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of detecting. And then whatever you did after or before was up to you.
Right.
So we got there on Monday, correct? And that's the day we went to Sutton.
Correct.
Yes. So we spent, okay.
And then people are wondering why it's only 3 days. They do weddings on weekends, so
Right.
they kind of got to clear everybody out so they can prepare for the weekend.
It's
Very cool.
I think the detecting part has only been going on maybe a year. It's something, I think during COVID, right after COVID is when they decided to open it up for detecting. So
Which would make sense because they probably knocked down the number of weddings that they occurred.
Yeah,
Trying to find another
absolutely.
way to make money on it. So yeah,
Right.
that makes sense.
yeah.
But when you're only doing 6 to 5 or 6 tours a year of 10 people, yeah, it's good.
It definitely is. And it's not just a short hop and jump from London either. What they gave us a shuttle. We got a shuttle ride through them. What was that, about a 3-hour drive?
3-hour ride,
Yeah.
yeah.
3 hour.
Wow. Not
They
bad.
took good care of us.
Yeah.
Sure did.
But you got to see the countryside that way. You know what I mean?
I didn't. I was
On that.
asleep.
You were saying.
Yeah, I would say he was taking a nap. Some of us actually got to see the countryside.
Yeah. How was the jet lag for everyone? Because it's a real thing,
Oh, it was horrible for me. I thought, how can you have jet lag? And the first day, I was just really dragging. So,
Took a couple of days.
yeah.
But
The
worth
only,
it.
the only complaint I have about the whole adventure is I couldn't get out of the bathtub. It was so big and so deep and so slippery.
Got lost,
Is that
huh?
right?
It's different.
Yeah.
I couldn't. It was
The
crazy.
farmhouse where we stayed at was built in the 1700s.
Yeah.
And
Which
so
is
it's actually, in England, that's pretty modern.
Yeah.
But when you start putting in these, the bathtubs that were built, added in the probably 40s. Yeah, they're big. They're porcelain covered, pot metal or cast iron or whatever. So yeah, they're
Yeah.
big.
Wow.
Picture a clawfoot, but big.
Yeah. Now, and where we stayed at, there's 12 rooms. I think there was 12 rooms, if I remember right.
I think so.
But there wasn't a bathroom for every one of the rooms. So like Joe and I shared a bathroom. That was never an issue.
No, not at all.
Well, you guys were both in the tub together, so you could help each other get out.
Oh, had to scrub his back.
And I don't want to see the pictures of that of the video.
Wow.
You guys got to keep that
I-
private.
You guys had a bathtub, did you?
What
Was that Charlie?
You guys had a shower, right? Somebody had a shower because I went to use it, and
That was KK.
I went in the wrong room then.
Yeah, but then he went in the wrong room.
You made a left instead of a right.
Kate said, Charlie, you can use my shower. I said, which way is it? Go down the hall, make a right, then turn, make a left, whatever. And I thought I was going in the right room. So someone came in like, who's there?
Oh.
See, Charlie forgot he was in England. He went to the wrong side of the house.
Yeah, the wrong side of the hallway.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I did want to ask you guys. There was a question that came in from Quarter Hoarder. Who dug the oldest coin? And actually, just everybody tell us, what was the oldest coin that you guys dug? Joe.
Ooh, mine was probably the hammered like Charlie is probably 1100.
Amazing.
Well, Joe,
Yeah.
how about
the short cross, the small one?
Roman? Didn't you get a Roman coin, Joe?
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. Take that back. I got 2 Roman coins. Wow. Yeah. No.
Isn't it amazing? You forget like just how old you were over there, like what you got into.
400 AD. There you go.
Yeah, 400 AD.
Amazing. Hey, Charlie, what about you?
The 1100 hammered. I thought I had a Roman, but it was a trade coin. It looks like a Roman, but it was not a Roman. It was a tiny coin. Trade token, I guess would be.
Yeah, Jason, I forgot.
My oldest was that hammered Henry II silver coin. About 1135, I guess, was it the year on that.
Wow.
Wow.
KK.
I think I found the oldest coin, the 125 AD, Hadrian Cistercius.
We should have saved you for last. My bad. Who's going after that one? Let's see.
Who found the 1942 pence? 3 pence.
My oldest was a Roman phallus that dates back to 350 to 353 AD. So yeah, it was in really exceptionally good condition.
Can you grab it? Can you grab it?
It is not anywhere near me right now.
Okay.
What was it called, Jeff?
It's a phallus. It's a size. It's a denomination.
You found that in your last day, right?
Yep.
You were digging to China for that one.
It was probably
different than a denarii then.
There was a denarius found.
There was.
Yeah. Denarius is silver Roman. This is bronze, and it's about the size of a U.S. nickel, almost exactly the same size, a little bit bigger maybe, but like twice as thick. So
yeah, pretty amazing.
Teresa, what do you got?
I have my box here, so I'll show it to you.
Perfect.
See if you can tell anything.
Oh,
there you go. Tip it up right there in that light. Yeah, there you go. Oh, nice.
What is that?
This side. That side. You
that
can
Chuck E.
see
Cheese token?
Face.
No, it's not.
See the crown? Can you see his face? That is Edward IV.
Edward
and
IV.
They said it's a half groat, and it's in terrible shape, but it's mine.
Beautiful.
And 1300s, and then the back has the cross thing on it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
Wow.
Did I miss anybody?
Joe,
Butch.
did you?
Did we get Butch?
Oh, okay.
What was your oldest coin?
The oldest coin I dug was, I think, a 1400s farthing, but it wasn't dated, but it was hammered copper. And then the oldest dated coin I found was, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it was 1572, I believe. I can't see
goodness.
the date on it.
Wow.
But I mean, to me, that's cool because I never had dug a dated coin nearly that old. So
gotcha.
Man, everyone found stuff old. That's really cool.
I don't think anybody didn't find like Teresa said, or it might have been KK. Everybody found a hammered, at least one hammered that I know of.
The crazy thing about the whole thing is the sand there. I mean, the dirt's like sand. You don't even need
was it easy digging?
You don't even show it easy. Use a pinpointer.
What was interesting for me was the first 5 coins I found were KG coins, King George coins. And it's true what they said. They're like pennies over there, the KG coins.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like back home here, I'd be taking pictures of the coins. I'd be holding the coins up. And over in England, they're all over the place.
Wow.
and you just
Isn't
stick
that
them
crazy?
in your pocket.
Although
Yeah,
I will say
I can
this trip, because in the trips in the past, I have literally seen them take the KGs and toss them in the hedgerow. This trip they didn't, and maybe that's something new nowadays. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, they were happy that we found them, and I'm sure that they're happy we got them out of the way so they can go to the older stuff.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. I think about day 6 on our trip that Ken and I went on, they had told us that in this backfield over here, they had found greenies back there, and you don't want to go back there. I just wanted to get out and dig targets, and I actually gridded off that field. It's probably about an acre is what I did just an entire day. I found 13 greenies just in that section back there, and two silvers,
and loved every single one of them.
And to me,
like,
that
woo!
was some of the best time of the trip.
Yeah.
Finding that many. Everybody else was like, we didn't find gold today. I'm like, oh, it's all right. There was a 1797 2.5 Danish shilling, and it was my second best coin I found out there. So I was beyond happy.
Yeah, that was a special coin for sure. So let me ask you guys, that brings up a good point. I probably know the answer for everybody, but what were you hoping to possibly find that you didn't? So in other words, what's left out there for you to go get? I mean, hammered coins, guys, right? When you go to England, you're hoping to find a hammered coin.
Right.
Gold would be amazing and it can be done, but hammered coin really, and you all kind of scored that. So what do you think? What's left on your bucket list for England?
Mine's easy because I didn't dig a Roman coin and I wanted to. So if I can just get a Roman coin, I'll be thrilled.
Yeah, that's awesome. How about you, Teresa?
I think I would just go crazy if I could find something that was like a piece of old gold jewelry. Even jewelry, but a gold jewelry, like an old something. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, like an old brooch, or they have these things called torques. They're actually like bracelets, and people do find them over there, and they're amazing because they're twisted and kind of fluted on the end. And yeah, I agree.
That seal is kind of sort of jewelry-esque.
I like that.
What if you found a gold one of them? Oh my goodness, right?
Oh, I would love that. But I don't know. If I could find something like Knights Templar, you would hear me scream all the way in America.
Right. First time I went over, one of the guys with us found some gold cufflinks from 1899. So not super old, but they had names on them. They had a date on it, and they were linked together, and they were just beautiful. So Joe, how about you, bud? What do you think's still on your England white
whole
whale
Roman
list?
Brooch would be the way to go. I was hoping, but it didn't happen.
Yeah,
I think Kay found a piece. Didn't you find a piece, Kay?
Charlie did too.
I found a Saxon cruciform brooch. Charlie found the Roman brooch.
Oh wow, like a fibula brooch or no?
That's
Similar
what his
to that?
was,
Yeah. That's on my list. I would love to find a fibula brooch.
KK, tell them about the animal piece.
The zoomorphic.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know if it's a vessel leg or a strap end, but it was zoomorphic. It had like a duck head on it. But the thing I want to find over there is a Celtic coin or a Bronze Age axe head. Just, go
there
big.
you go.
Ooh,
go
yeah.
big.
Wow, yeah.
Or a horde of Bronze Age axe heads, right?
Not as well.
Question came in from David Rose, Full Metal Digger. He wants to know, for the group, did you have to get an export license and bring your finds home with you, or did you have to coordinate with the flow? How did they work all that over there on your trip?
Export license.
Well, everything had to go through the flow to begin with.
Yep.
And then from there they get the export license, and it takes weeks. It is what it is. They let us bring home the non-old stuff.
Everybody brought home a lot of stuff that we thought was cool, but they, kind of like the British copper.
49 finds, and all 49 finds came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they keep anybody's?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, one of the coolest things I found, which was not old, and I got to bring it back with me, but I found one of the flaming grenade hat pins that I think they said dated to probably late 1800s or something, but it was solid silver.
Oh, no kidding.
Just a neat piece. And it's like, they didn't even report it. I don't guess they just gave it.
No, it wasn't old enough.
See
It's
that.
not
The
100
age,
years
yeah.
old.
It was cool. It was actually the grenade part was busted off, but it was the flames. So it was pretty
Wow.
cool. Yeah.
Did you grid that area then, Butchie? See if
No,
there?
I didn't because that was where the Roman camp was, and I was dying to get a Roman coin, and I went back. So I hunted around there. Another guy was hunting the area too, and everything that was being found we thought was late 1800s, like things like that. I think I got a King George or something there, but when we got back and started cleaning the stuff, Keith, who had been up there with me, discovered one of the coins he had found on that hill was a Roman coin. So you never know.
Yeah, I think he got a Sestercius up there as well, didn't he?
Yeah. So if I'd known that, I'd probably stuck with it. But there's so much area you don't know where to go. I mean,
It's huge.
Or was that where he got his denarius?
What's that?
Was that where he got his denarius?
I believe it was. Yes.
Okay, that's what it was. He got up there.
Yeah. And at the time, I don't think he realized what it was. I didn't realize because it looked like it was a small house place up there, and it definitely looked early 1900s to maybe.
They said
very late.
Victorian.
Yeah. So,
Did you
But
guys?
that's also where Jeff found that really old Roman. Was that Caesar? What was that? Your old Roman coin, Jeff?
I forget the actual name, Magnetitis or something like that. Magna someone or other, but it dates from 300 to. No, I found that on that last field the last day.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that was the field I was talking about was on the second day where we had to cross the water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing the size of land they have out there to let you loose on, huh?
Oh yes, wow.
Mhm.
And what Jeff and I were taken around and shown the other property there. It was mind blowing. I don't know how many acres they own.
Yeah, and the fun part was they're the guys are driving us because everyone's in the field doing their thing. It was Andy that drove us around, and he's like, "Yeah, in this field we have permission. This is one of our fields that we can hunt too. There's an Anglo-Saxon village on this, and we go over here, and there's a Roman village over there. And it's like, why are
Where do you go? Where do you start?
Yeah,
It's amazing.
It's really amazing, and yeah.
Very cool. So you guys talked about finding lead over there. Did any of you find a bunch of anti-aircraft flak? Anybody?
Anybody found any?
Tony, me, Tony and I did when we were over there. I guess the area we were. I think we were closer to the coast. Yeah, it sounds so good. But just thinking about holding that in your hand, thinking about what was going on the time that fell to earth and stuff, it was pretty humbling. I tell you. So, you guys must have been more inland, would you say?
Not really. We were actually on the coast, weren't we?
Yeah, we were very
close. We were close.
Yeah, I think we're about 3 miles from the ocean. Yeah. So I mean, we're close-ish.
If where you land in London, if you're looking at the map, you go north and pretty far up, and then it's to the east towards the coast. That's where we were.
So you go up, basically up through Colchester, past Ipswich, and then from Ipswich you go up to Woodbridge, and then hang a right and go towards the coast.
Gotcha.
We had to be near the coast because right where we detected one day, the guy was cleaning oysters. I mean, he had a big room filled with oysters that they were harvesting right there in the water where we were at. So it had to be salt water there.
Yeah. Well, those rivers all around there are tidal, and they got the, that mixture of fresh and salt water. So
brackish.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to double back. We had a question quite a while ago for Teresa. Apparently people love your find, but they wanted to know if you ever thought about melting wax and doing an imprint of it into wax, then displaying the imprint next to the item in a display case.
I have not thought of that, but I'm going to do it now.
There you go.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty incredible.
Thank you, JP Hunts.
Yeah.
Yeah, JP Hunts, great question.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I Yeah, I need to do that.
I think that'd be really neat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like to see that for sure. I mean, I just love finds like that. And then you were talking about Edward IV. You know, my wife and I, we're always looking for new TV shows to watch. That's kind of our evening ritual. Have some dinner, watch some TV together, talk about the day and stuff. And we really got into these monarchy TV shows about the monarchy, all the different crown shows, all the different, stories about this queen or that king and this whatever. And Edward IV, he was just like, center of like the War of Roses and all that stuff, that whole storyline. He was very central. And I think he married Margaret Woodbridge, who was a very central character in all these TV dramas that we're watching. So you caught my attention when you said Edward IV. I was like, ooh, that's pretty cool. I love that.
The picture of his face looks like a little boy.
Yeah, right.
On the coin. It looks like when he was very young.
Right.
What show was that?
I think it was called what was it called? It was called
you can text me.
The Queen shoot. I've dropped it now. Somebody in the chat help me out here, bail me out. The White Queen, I think. The White Queen. Something like that.
I'll have to look for it.
Or the War of Roses, maybe the War of Roses. You have to check it out. Just search that and it'll come up. Yeah.
So honestly, I think that relic is phenomenal. Trust me, I'm greatly jealous of that one that Teresa found, but I honestly think the best relic that was found, Joe, that horse piece. Why don't you tell them about that one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Kinda.
Horse piece.
Yeah, I mean, we dig horse tech in the United States, and I actually thought that's what it was. It was junk. And then one of the archaeologists saw what I had, and he's like, "Do you have any idea what this is?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's horse tack, and it's junk. We throw it away." He's like, "No." So it was a saddle,
saddle shield.
Shield.
Yeah, saddle shield with the family crest on it from a knight. I think they said somewhere between 500 600 AD, somewhere around there.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
just junk. Put it in the junk pouch.
And Joe, wasn't that in the lead field?
Yes,
that was in the lead field, right down the way from the Saxton buckle I found.
Wow.
Joe, I found something that you said to me. It was junk. You remember that? I found something.
Yeah, and I think it was the Viking chess piece, right?
Viking chess piece, and also the Roman brooch. The figure.
Yeah,
two of those things junk.
Joe and his junk. I tell you what, don't trust that guy.
Joe wants to find coins.
It was so funny because they would make us put our junk in a box, and they would go through it at night to see if we threw anything away that was good. We don't know. I don't know half of the stuff I found.
Well,
seriously,
that you have good advice, but that over in England, I didn't listen at all what you were telling me to do. To throw it away.
Yeah, but over there, honestly, you don't throw. It's the old rule: don't throw it away if you don't know what it is.
Yeah, right.
Every time I would find something, I would just drop my stuff and go running towards Andy or John and say, "What did I find?"
Every single thing.
What is it?
What is
everything?
Oh.
They're like, "Oh my!"
I mean, that was the sad part too. Is that I didn't videotape anything because I had no idea what the hell it was. What am I gonna say in the video? I found this. You know,
cool
Here's a great example, folks. This right here, I thought was a drawer pull, and I had in my junk. And that's actually is it an annular brooch or whatever they call it that holds the toga or robe together like a buckle? Yeah. So, I mean, I thought it was a drawer pull, but no.
My Viking game piece looked like a bullet, a lead bullet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like a Civil War bullet. It looked like that. And here was a Viking game piece. So I'm just glad I kept it and not heaped it behind me in the field.
That's so cool. It's like conical, right? It was like a conical piece. Yeah.
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 You know, that was something they did is they had an archaeologist that spoke to us one night, and actually a pro metal detecting archaeologist. It was great. But he showed us, I mean, we'd all been digging these blobs of lead, but he showed us what the Viking game pieces were. And as it
That's why I
turned
was
out, we
looking.
started looking through our lid, and there were some pieces in there. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's kind of how we knew. After
All the
that,
light
cool.
bulbs went on. Everybody was like, "Wait a minute, I've seen that before."
I think I threw one of them away. I think I threw two of those away.
That is so crazy. So what other things happened? Like I heard some not rumors, but I heard some stories that maybe they did these presentations to y'all as part of the package. Kind of they would do talks to you. Tell me about that. Like tell me about some of the things they talked to you about. They obviously talked to you about the game pieces and the leads that you would find. What else was mentioned? Anybody want to take that?
One of the talks was Anglo-Saxons in East Anglia, and they literally went over, the whole history of the Saxons, where they moved from, where they moved to, things that they did, things that they had. That was a great talk. Each night we had a talk about something. It was literally a sit down and professional lecture.
Those were some tough nights, though, after detecting all day long.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then dinner and having alcohol, then go sit there. Yeah. Hey. Hey. It's a rough night.
But they also had someone talk to, talk to us about the history of the Priory.
Yep.
So so that was interesting as well. So
the Baroness gave us that talk, and he also his wife, her name is Claire, she gave us a tour of the place. And anyway, he said, I might be wrong, but I think he said that he lived there as a little boy in that monastery.
Well, the only true building that's left of the monastery is the guardhouse, which is where all this takes place at. It's a guardhouse, but it has 5 bedrooms in it or something like that are huge.
Yeah, a gatehouse.
The gatehouse.
That they would come through and shut the gate when people would come in. I think that's what I understood.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the ghost either.
Got to hear that story.
Ray's ghost. So the first day that we were there, we were able to go detecting at like 5 o'clock in the morning. They allowed, whoever wanted to get up that early to go to Leadfield, do whatever. So Ray came. I was the first one down. Ray come down and he's like, "Man, something happened to me last night." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I had a visitor." So he's telling me about this ghost, and I thought it was baloney. And we went to, I think it was breakfast, and Libby asked a question. Anybody had any visitors last night? And I just looked. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Like, you serious right now?" And then
a little boy. He said
Ray was the one who found the gold coin, so it all kind of made sense, right?
Oh my goodness! Tell me about the gold coin.
That happened right behind me.
We were all around that thing.
All I heard was gold. That's all he said. Didn't get it. He's like, "Gold," and I said, "No, you get out of here." He's like, "No, gold." And I said, "Let me see." And he starts dancing. I said,
my gosh, look at that thing.
Yeah. It came out of the ground looking that pretty.
It's crazy.
Is it a noble? Like, what is it, Jeff? Is it a noble?
I don't know if it's a full noble. I think it might have been a half noble.
Yeah, half noble.
Everybody who was swinging the dais, this lead rang up at 73. That coin rang up at 73 on the dais, and he dug it.
I actually made a full video of that, Joe.
Yeah, you
of
do.
him finding it. I made a video.
I quit digging 73s. I was like sick of it, and Ray kept digging them, and that's what he dug.
That's amazing.
Another story about the place was that it said that there is someone buried there in a silver coffin in somewhere around the lead field where we were digging. So it'd be deep.
It sounded like a aluminum can, I'm sure.
Well, no one dug that yet.
Yeah.
We didn't find the
well, that was a blessing. That was a blessing too. I don't think anybody put aluminum there.
Talk about the coffin. What was that big hole dug in the middle of the field there?
That was a drainage that they found from way back in the day.
It was a waterway.
Yeah, like a culvert or something like that.
That they're trying to figure out why it's there, I guess.
I can get it right.
Oh, that thing in the lower right corner?
Yeah, right there. It was actually, I think they say it was a water system or something off the church, but it's solid lead.
Yeah, lead was down in this. Yeah, lead was down in the bottom there.
Wow.
I mean,
the whole thing was lead.
But show a picture of the actual house, the big house.
Let me see here. Oh yeah.
So that big house that they made into the wedding venue was actually
Yes, this is the guard house.
Oh my
yes,
goodness.
there was two
The
gates
gate.
there, and that whole area was fenced in. And when we had visitors coming back in the day, the horses and buggies and stuff, they had to go right through there to get into the area where we detected. Where
That looks very medieval.
It
Yeah.
was,
Looks very medieval.
that
But-
face
but-
of that is actually napped flint. I mean,
Oh.
it's beautiful.
And if you
Yeah.
look at the very top of those arches, all those little squares is a different insignia for means something. I
There's
forgot
shields.
what it said.
There's
but-
Crazy.
there's family
It-
crest.
Didn't the stone come from France? The stone was sent over from France.
I heard something about that, but I was also finding pieces of flint out in the field, so I'm not sure. But I think he did say it was imported from France.
They shipped it over in boats back in the day. That stone is not a local stone. It was from France.
Mm.
So the pieces
That's
I was
amazing.
finding, maybe that's where they did the napping or whatever for the building there, I guess. Because
If some of you want to see the picture that Butch just showed up, you need to head on over to American Digger magazines. AmericanDigger.com. We'll go over to the website. If you're not a subscriber to that magazine, you need to become one. It's a great article he's got there. And you can go check out all the pictures that we're talking about tonight if you happen to be catching us on the replay. So what did we miss, guys? You guys went there. We didn't. What did we miss about the trip?
Oof, it was fun.
It was fun. Jeff and I both had wardrobe malfunctions.
Uh-oh. We were trying to
weren't gonna
avoid
talk
that.
about
Yeah.
Yeah, Butch lost a pair of boots. They wore out after a couple of years. We'll say that.
Well, they did. They actually, I was kind of gobsmacked by it all because I threw the boots away. And then suddenly I get a picture email. They retrieved the boots and hung them up in the barn and made a shrine out of the boots, the shrine of the boots. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen, but I was kind of honored.
It's funny.
All right, let's do a round robin. KK, I'm putting you up. Favorite part of your trip?
All the laughter. We laughed a lot. Yeah, it was great.
All the
people.
camaraderie. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is awesome.
Love that.
How about you, Jeff? Putting you up.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to go with KK on that one. No, seriously, it was so much fun. From even before we started, hanging out with everyone at the hotels to when we got there, we just had a ball. I mean, it was truly meeting friends that I'm thinking I'm gonna be friends with for life.
That's so cool. How about you,
Love it.
Joe?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the same all the way around. I mean, I was acquaintance to some of these people, and I think we've pretty much left friends, and we'll probably stay that way for forever. It's great.
Yeah, the camaraderie is sure something great. Teresa, do you
Yeah.
agree?
I do agree. Yeah. One thing I would like to say is that a lot of people have asked me, well, that's kind of a lot of money for just 3 days of digging. And it might be, but to me, it was worth every penny. And I like enough, I'm going to go back. I mean, it was just so fun. Our guides were just hilarious, and they knew what they were doing, and everything was well organized, and it was just very, very nice.
That sounds great.
Mhm.
Charlie, how about you? What was your favorite part of this trip?
Favorite part was from the time I got on the plane with Joe in Philadelphia. All that time in between, it was great. It was just a lot of fun. I went there. I wanted to find Roman. I found that. I wanted to find Viking. I found that. Anglo-Saxon. I found that. It was a complete trip. And it was really nice to be with my friends over there and just have a blast.
Sounds great. Butch, how about you?
Amazing.
What do you think your favorite part of this trip was?
Getting to, well, I already do a lot of, or several of them, but getting to meet and hunt with all of these guys and gals for 3 days, there just wasn't anything like it. I mean, we were just like one big dysfunctional family just having a so we laughed and we had fun, and it was just nothing like it ever. I'll never forget it.
And Teresa brought up costs. Are you able to talk about cost at all? Is there a range? Can we kind of, those people that are listening to the show that may want to go to England sometime, you do have to kind of save up for it. It is kind of an investment, right? But it's so worth it. I mean, we just asked you all the same question and you heard their answers. So what do you say, Butch?
I don't actually have the price in front of me. One of the other people here, how much did that cost?
I can tell you that with plane round trip from Philly in there, it was around $3,800,
including all your spending money and everything.
Well, I mean, honestly, yeah. Well, maybe a little more than that with spending money. Maybe $4,500.
How much was the actual Priory trip? Do y'all remember?
Say that again, Butch.
How much was the actual 3-day hunt?
Oh, 1,300 pounds, maybe.
Yep.
1,300.
Yeah, I think it was 15 or 1,700 pounds.
Yeah,
About $50, right?
No, it was what, $1,700.
It was like $1,750, I think.
Yeah.
1,300 pounds, 1,500 American.
Yeah.
But that didn't include your airfare or
Right, airfare killer.
Right.
I mean, the biggest thing about the airfare, man, if you can book it out early because it'll save you a ton of money. Only $1,100 for me round trip.
Yeah, there was people that actually paid almost double what some others did for airfare alone. So it can be a big savings if you book that out early, like Joe was saying, and
But it is quicker flying than driving. So.
And the funny thing about it too is everybody thinks it takes forever to get there. From Philly, it was 6 hours or 7 hours. That was it. Well, I was disappointed. I'm like, that's it. We're here.
and actually, I had a direct flight from Denver to London, so nonstop 8-hour trip for So that was beautiful.
That's awesome. Yeah, I want to go again, don't you, Tony?
Oh, I'm looking. In fact, Shane Godfrey over in the chat says, I agree, buddy. Made some great friends over there. I met Ken and Tony. So yes, from our trip as well. I still text. I mean, I texted, I think 6 of the 11, because I was number 12, 6 of the 11, I texted them last month just to check in with them. And that was, almost a year ago. So the friendships, the deep friendships, sharing the time with people that have the same passion, just being over there. And I think, like what Jeff said, I'm more happy to see what my friends are digging than me digging, and all of us feeling that same way about all of these different finds. It's just, you can't replace it. It is a fair bit of change.
Tony,
but
your trip, Tony, in England.
I'm sorry. Long. We went, Ken and I went for 2 days prior, but I think, what do we dig? 7? We're 7 straight days of digging.
Yeah.
Right.
Gone for 9.
And then we went in early. We spent a couple days in London and then went back to the airport, met up with everybody else. So our jet lag got pushed out while we were in London. And then we were ready to dig sun up to sundown 7 straight days. Cause yeah. Yeah,
and our friend Cindy's over there right now doing 12 straight days. Can you imagine?
I'm getting pictures from her almost every day. So
she's crushing it. We knew she would. Man, she's a great detective. Well, listen, guys.
Well worth it, though.
Yeah. Guys, listen, you guys have been great. We really appreciate you guys taking your time to come out and talk to us on Relics Radio. All of you jumping in. It's been so wonderful listening to your stories. Makes me want to go right back there. And for those of you who are listening that might want to take a trip to England, I mean, refer to this show. If you got questions, reach out, send us a message. And maybe we'll all get a chance to dig together someday over there. I mean, Butch, if you keep doing these trips, I may join you sometime.
It seems to be a popular thing right now. We weren't sure how it would go over at first, but it's definitely a hit. So
excellent.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, Jeff.
I just want to say thank you guys, Tony and DK, for letting us be basically your inaugural on this format. You guys are doing.
Yeah.
We're happy to be the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
We wanted to try this. Jeff, you and I talked about it, about with Butch and stuff, talking about where are we going to go next? What are we going to do next? Because of Spreaker bringing that live to the end. And this is what we came up with. So if this works out well, we may continue doing this. I think we'll always have the audio available through Apple Podcast and Podbean and Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, you'll be able to grab the audio, but this just adds another level. maybe you listen to the show audio all the time and you want to come over and see what Tony and I look like. I'm sorry. I'll apologize ahead of time. But yeah, if y'all want to do that, just catch us Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do it on 5280 Adventures here on YouTube. We're also going to put it over on the Relics Radio Facebook group page, and also somewhere else. We have a third option that we're probably going to switch around week after week. So, but listen, guys, thank you so much. Thank you very much. I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to go round robin again. We're going to give you each a chance to kind of say your goodbyes, and then we'll put you in the green room if you guys want to hang out there, if you have a couple extra minutes, and then we'll say our goodbyes after we end this stream. Everyone okay with that?
That sounds good.
All right. So think of your speeches. No, just give you a
you on the
chance to say
spot.
goodbye to those that are listening and those that are watching. Charlie, we'll go with you first. Here you go.
Well,
buddy.
I want to thank you for having us on tonight, and I want to thank all my friends there. I just had a fantastic time. I'm looking forward to going again.
Amen.
Excellent. Perfect. Butch, how about you, buddy?
I just want to thank everybody for supporting American Digger magazine and also going on these trips with us. And it's just awesome. I hope to see everybody again in the coming years. Let's make this a regular thing.
Excellent. Perfect. Hey, Joe.
Hey, what?
Where are you going with that? No. I'm just I heard that song earlier today. I've been thinking about it all day. Go for it, man. Say
Yeah,
your
thanks for having us on. I really appreciate it. It was a good time, and it's always great to hang out with a great bunch of friends and have some great talk and some great memories.
Yeah, it always is. Thanks for being here, Joe.
Absolutely.
Hey, Beck, KK, what do you say?
Thanks for having me on, and I'm looking forward to seeing Jeff and Teresa in about a month. And then October, I'll see Butch.
Wow. You guys it's hard to come back home, isn't it?
Or
Like,
Boots,
and dig those wheat cents again. Like sometimes it's like, I mean, it's fun. Come on. We're all having a good time out here, but I wish you a ton of luck on your next trip for sure, KK.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Pleasure to get to know you at least over this for sure. See you. And Teresa, how about you?
I also want to say thank you, Tony and BK, for having us on tonight, and everybody that's in the chat. I'll go back and read the chat later. I don't do two things at once very well, but I had such a good time. It was so fun. I just can't. It was what you really would call a trip of a lifetime. Yeah. And Tony and Ken, you guys did a good job having this many people on your first show.
Yeah,
it has to be
trial by fire, right? Figure if we can handle this, having one
you
person on with us
job.
next time should be good.
Very, very good job.
Well, thank you, Teresa. Hey,
You're
Jeff,
welcome.
what do you want to say, buddy?
Hey, I want to thank you guys once again for having us on. Truly, I'm excited about this new format that you guys have found and experimenting with. This is awesome. I'm loving it. And you know what? We're still doing old school over at Relic Roundup, which is on Monday nights right over at Spreaker. So you can check us out there as well. And I tell you what, everyone that went on the detecting trip, awesome. I love meeting you guys. I'm impressed with the skill level of everyone that was there. I mean, seriously, the finds were phenomenal. The food, the place where we stayed at was first class. And I just want to say KK was probably one of our newest detectorists, but also one of our best detectorists the whole time there.
Definitely.
Day in and day out. And I'm
She killed it.
her skills and her abilities. It's wow. You're an amazing girl. So
Perfect.
She doesn't stop.
no, she doesn't.
With her.
And wherever she went, there was good stuff being found. It's amazing.
Wow.
She has a nose.
She's fast. She's fast.
Yes.
That was a lot of story. I look to my left, she's there. A few seconds later, she's to my right.
Wow. It's cool when you get together with a bunch of people because you find out who those people are. I call them hard chargers because they're just out there going for it. I remember Nugget Noggin was like that. He was just gone.
Yep.
Our friend Cindy's like that every time we have an event. She's like that. Andrew and Virginia from Washington State, from the Relic Rangers, they were both like that. It's just absolutely crazy. Preacher Diggers like that. Why not? You're there, right? You only have a few middays. You're just going to hit it. And, you know, no matter how tired you get, you're just going to, it's that next swing could be a Celtic gold. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that next target. So
I still found time to lay on the ground and nap.
did you lay on your back a bit?
I think
Thanks,
I have a
Susan.
picture of you, Butch,
I believe
sitting
you do.
on that. You're sitting on that lead cistern thing.
Well, I have a picture of him laying down out in the potato field. So
Yeah, I've found that too. After he found his first hammer, he just laid out.
I did. It took it all out of me.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
wanted
Tony, you want to?
with my relic.
Tony, you want to start putting people in the green room, and everyone give it a wave as Tony's putting you down in the green room, and then we can say our final goodbyes off air. We'll check in with you all here in a minute. Hey, Tony, so that was a pretty good first little soiree into this live stream. What do you think?
Were you watching me sweat the entire time? I'm clicking and looking,
you were working your butt off, man. I was watching.
That was fun.
Just going,
you know what? They made it easy though. Great stories. You know, the worst part about a podcast is dead air. With this group, there's no dead air.
No dead
so
air.
Made it easy. It was a great show. You know, I mean, you know that how much we enjoyed going to England, and then just kind of reminiscing and talking back with these guys, their trip on England. You can't beat that trip. Memories, history, just absolutely, like Teresa said, once in a lifetime. And I would absolutely encourage anybody else that's thinking about going, save up. It is a trip of a lifetime, and I definitely believe it's worth it for sure.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, I'll tell you what, where can people find you? I mean, they're on your YouTube channel now, but where can people find you, Tony?
Yeah, you can find me over on YouTube, 5280 Adventures, Instagram, where else? Anywhere that your social media is. Over on Facebook, just type in 5280 Adventures and you can find me over there. Stop by, leave me some comments, some chat. Love interacting with everybody and checking in and seeing what everybody finds. So love to see you over there.
Great. You want to get us ready to take us out of here? I'll say my goodbyes. Listen, everybody in the chat, everyone on Facebook, everyone on YouTube that joined, that hung out with us and asked questions and interacted with each other. You are part of the community, and I really appreciate you being here and joining us every Thursday and for your interaction. I couldn't catch everything. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, but I do appreciate you being here and supporting the show. Relics Radio, we're on our 7th season, going strong. Thank you to Loy for starting this many years ago. Loy and Tennessee Jeff, thank you guys very much. And I'll tell you what, we appreciate you being here. We have another great guest with us next Thursday. So make sure you tune in. We'll be promoting it, and make sure you take a look at what we got coming up. And for those of you that are listening on the replay, thank you for being there. Things aren't going to change for you, but we encourage you to come over and check out the live stream sometime. Facebook group, Relics Radio Facebook group, and 5280 Adventures on YouTube. And then we're actually going to be posting this on Instagram sometimes and on various other Facebook pages and groups. So just stay tuned for that. Have yourself a great week. If you get out and dig, go find the good stuff and make sure you tell me about it. I'm DK with Adventures in Dirt. You can find me anywhere at Adventures in Dirt. Make sure you come check out my Sunday show called The Weekly Dirt, where I feature you and all your finds. We'll catch you next Sunday. Have a good night.
Thank you so much for listening to Relics Radio. We will see you back here next week for another exciting guest. Until then, get out and dig it all.